regimens, all that stuff.
And she's fed.
He's fed, she's fed.
We just finished our second podcast as well.
Yes. One of the things that I have come to learn in the last 6 months, in the last year, in the last 3.5 years that we've been together, is going from food being nothing but an indulgence and a comfort and a Band-Aid, a pillow and a cushion, to it being this idea of being fuel for my machine and what is it I want to do. Like how, just being more active. You know, it's easy to just say active lifestyle, but like putting intentions about, I want to run. I want to run a marathon. I only ran 3 miles today, and a lot of that was walking. A year ago, 3 miles would have been impossible, literally impossible. A mile would have been impossible. And what I've heard is that everybody's body's different. Exercise affects people differently. People need different kinds of exercise to achieve the goals that they want, whether it be strength training, cardio, I don't know whether you're an endomorph, an ectomorph, a mesomorph, all of this stuff. There's a lot of science to it, and a lot of it is important. The only thing that I can control, that I can control, is the food that I put in my mouth. These are the calories I can control. I can't control how my body burns the fat now. I can do my best, I can learn what works best for me, but I have no guaranteed results with running 3 miles and going, what do you mean I only burned 400 calories? But the food, I know exactly how much the food is, and I know exactly how much I'm eating. So that's something that has really opened my eyes to being more mindful. And you know, that's a word that gets tossed around a lot. In counting my calories every single day and trying to go, well, I'm going to lose 1/7 of a pound if I keep it under 1990. And I go, okay. And that seems a little obsessive or extreme.
To me, it does.
But it's not. I don't think about that with every meal. I think about, I'm going to just eat proportionately to what I want to do next, what I have planned for in my day. And so sometimes that's like, I'm going to eat a potato instead of going to the drive-through. It's extreme, but it's also extreme what I used to do.
Sure.
Over eating 2, sometimes 3 pints of ice cream in a night, getting those huge bags of peanut M&Ms, the sharing size, the family size. This is not what
for the family of you.
Yeah, for the family of me, sharing with me and nobody else. No, I didn't want to share with anybody. I didn't even want anybody to know that I was eating all those M&Ms. I hated myself for it. I really did. And I still continue to do it. So
not currently.
You would. I did. Yeah. Not currently. So in those extreme behaviors, I think that it doesn't seem so extreme.
I understand.
And you know, another thing that I heard that really helps me think about eating treats or wanting to overindulge or wanting to go in for seconds is when I don't, and then I think about how I feel, I don't feel any more unhappy for not having eaten that pint of ice cream. I don't feel any more unhappy for not going back for seconds. I'm fine. I didn't deprive myself into some state of sadness or horrible experience because I didn't have a second helping of mashed potatoes. I go, oh, okay, it was just a craving and now it's gone.
Yeah.
And now I can move on. And I already forgot about yesterday's lunch.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I do.
So that's, I mean, I don't think it's too extreme.
It's great, and my approach is pretty different than yours.
What is your approach?
For me, it's pretty different, and then there are some similarities in that it is based on mindfulness and awareness. How does this food make me feel? How will these foods make me feel if I eat them? We were talking about in the podcast how it's been about a little over a year now since I stopped eating meat. It has now been it'll be 2 years in September since I declared myself sugar sober, and my process of sugar sobriety and becoming sugar-free. My approaches to these things have not been around calories at all, calorie counting. Even weight loss was never the exact goal. That was part of the goal, but my main goal has always been, and is in this moment, feeling. I want to feel good. I want to drink the thing, eat the thing that's going to ensure good feeling once it becomes a part of me. And once I could finally stop identifying those things with sugary stuff, high fat, cheeseburgers and pizza, once I could stop making those connections in my mind and start seeing, okay, kale. Like, I crave red kale now because I notice how it makes me feel. It makes me feel good. I know what it feels like to feel good now, and I want to. And it's funny you mentioned something about foods that, you know, kind of cushion you against the world or make a pillow. And then I was like, dang, that's our bodies, or that was your... I'm not saying you had a pillow. Yeah, but for me, I'll say, you know, pillowy belly, and, you know, as opposed to a stronger muscle I can feel growing, you know, from working out consistently, having this softness, which there's nothing wrong with unless you don't want it. I don't want that anymore. I want strength. I want fitness. I want energy and power. And cheeseburgers and fries consistently never got me that. And it feels more like kale and gluten-free pasta and water all the time and more plant-based choices. For me, those are the things that make me feel stronger and better.
Yeah,
and I want to feel that way.
That craving of feeling good, and I was drinking a green kale smoothie the other morning, and I put zucchini in there, and, you know, the cashew milk and the whole thing, and I was drinking it. As I was drinking it, I was like, this is so good. What is this? Is it the zucchini? Is it the kale? Like, why do I feel like, oh my God? And once it was done, and it's a big thing, you know, it's like 32 ounces. I was like, I need to have more of this. Why do I need more? I didn't make more, but it was so good, and my body was like, and then my mind was immediately craving this, and I'd never had that reaction to a green smoothie before. It was weird, because when I was eating M&Ms, there was no craving. It was just like this, when the sugar like starts to back up in the back of you, that feeling because you've had too much in the back of your throat, but you just keep eating more, and there was no good feeling about it. There was this immediate reaction to the dopamine. Is not like, it's not the good feeling. The dopamine is, everyone thinks that dopamine gives you a good feeling, right? That's the rush. What dopamine does is stops your craving. So you get the dopamine hit before you even get the thing that you wanted. So if you want alcohol, if you want sugar, if you want cheeseburgers, the dopamine goes, once you think about it and you're like, I can go get that, and all I gotta do is drive over here, you're getting that rush before you've even had the thing in your mouth.
Wow.
You know, you haven't even touched the thing, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, you ever get that, you know, you get the little dance before you're gonna eat something real good? The thing itself, the cheeseburger, the McDonald's quarter pounder, doesn't do shit for you except make you feel awful. Conceptually. That's the hit. And once you realize that, you can go, yeah, but the thing that I'm trying to accomplish with my day, not even my life or my body, I can't think about it all that much, but just for today, I just want to run the 3 miles, and I want to feel light, and I want my legs to feel better. You know, they're sore because I've been working them, and that's fine. I just want to incorporate things into my body. I love how you said it becomes me. So when I think about it, it's like, do I want that in me? I don't think I want that in me. Yeah, that becomes me. I don't want the cheeseburger to become me. I don't want to become a cheeseburger. I want to become spinach. I want to become a kale.
Become a kale. I mean, it's so funny. I haven't thought about that phrase, you are what you eat, in a long time, really. And because probably I've had so much shame in the past of what I've been eating. So I've never wanted to be immediately associated with it. I wasn't proud to be the meatball sub with extra cheese. You know, to think about the foods I am today, or I eat mainly today, I'm like, I'm proud to be a kale. Sure, that sounds yummy. And it sounds like it's doing good things for my body and maybe another person's body. But I was thinking about what you were saying, in the line, waiting for those things. And my experience wasn't so much excitement, but a resignation. Like, here you are again. You knew you'd be back here. You knew you'd be back here. I don't know why you've told John. I don't know why you've told your aunt and close friends that you were on this plan to lose weight. It's never gonna happen. Just go get the cheeseburger. And just a feeling of absolute, fine, like resolve. Fine, well then I will enjoy it. And so resolve and then indignation, like, fuck you, Rashida, then I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of this. And it's the bites, they taste good. They do.
They're designed to, yeah.
What's funny is I noticed most recently, because I'm meat free for a year, so I did check out the drive-through, because I do still go get French fries every now and then in the drive-through, because I like the drive-through. I think it's fun to be able to get it, and I don't feel like shitty and bad about it. Yet certain places, I was like, probably not the best, and I still won't go back to McDonald's because I think they put sugar in their fries, and I don't eat sugar. So I'm in this one drive-through, and I'm like, okay, yeah, let me just get these and see what it feels like. And what was funny was I ate the fries, and I was like, they weren't that great. They didn't taste that great, and I want more. And that's how I knew. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting those anymore. That's pretty bad. That's intense. And I don't even know if there are many, many additives, or maybe it's the oil they cook it in, or maybe it's all in my head. All I know is how I felt. And that's an incredible feeling of, I know I'm full and satisfied, and I want more.
Because they're feeding the craving. They're not feeding you. They're not feeding me. They're feeding my craving. And that craving the part of my brain that craves things, it doesn't wake up until I give into it, right?
That's what you're saying.
That's how I feel about it. And so if I don't give into it, I mean, yes, I'll still get a momentary, gosh, it'd be really good, and I should have this, but I think it through.
Yeah.
And I go all the way down
to the end of it.
And I know exactly where that end is, and it's me feeling shitty in bed for eating too much, feeling guilty for not meeting my personal goal of wanting to feel lighter, happier, healthier. And get up in the morning and not feel disgusting to me. Yeah. That's something that I keep in mind, is what are the goals that I have.
Yeah.
And having numbers for me and having the structure really helps, whether it's how many calories I'm going to eat today, how much weight I have the potential to lose this week or this month, or how many pounds I'd like to be at. Yeah. I can gauge that. And so if it goes against it, like if we go and have a really great, delicious meal somewhere and we're really happy and excited to be there and we're loving it, then I'm okay with not losing that 1/7 of a pound today, because it's a special occasion and I can enjoy that. Okay. And then I'll just get back on track tomorrow. But I really have to make it worth my while. That's how I look at it. I like the structure and the numbers and all of that.
I guess I think I see things more in a bigger or a wider lens of nothing's going to stop my bigger goal of well-being, feeling as good as I can feel. If I choose to do something temporarily that might look different than that, like going through the drive-thru and trying those fries, I know that it's temporary and I'm not going to go back and do it. The consistency of well-being is what I'm building. That's what I'm in the process of building. And as you are, and we're doing it, so we're both doing it very differently. I'll say that French fry experiment came after a year of being consistent with movement in my life, where I hadn't had consistent movement in my life ever. I made the agreement last year in 2018 that I didn't get to take a shower until I had movement of some sort of yoga, some sort of walking, going to a gym, going to a class. And to build that consistency is a part of the bigger picture of my consistent well-being. Weight loss is a side effect of that. And I know that it's a side effect I want, yet I don't have a set structure with 0.7 pounds. And that's not a judgment, you know? It's so cool to watch. I'm still losing weight, you're still losing weight. We're doing it in different ways. Yeah. It's really cool. And being healthier and being more mindful and
all those things.
Lighter and healthier.
I want to eat well and I want to eat good and I want to enjoy myself, but my world, my life has become bigger than me just eating. Like the goals that I have are bigger than just how good my next meal is going to taste. And I think that's something that's shifted. where it doesn't take up as much space in my mind as in much importance. I watched a video about two guys that ran 100 miles. I was like, run 100 miles? That's crazy, but people do it all the time. All the time. And people come back from and further and being bigger than I was and do it. So is that something I want to do? Well, then, figure out what it is that you need to do that. I just know that at this stage, cheeseburgers are not they're not a part of that goal, so they become smaller. So the cheeseburger takes up a smaller space. Ice cream takes up a smaller space in my mind. All those things are now like, they're just over here. They're still there. I think about them, but these other things are taking up more and more space in my life, and I get more and more excited about these things that I can achieve if I want to, but they can't coexist they can't at the same level. They can coexist as like a little bit here if I want this. So that's one of the things.
Bigger piece of the pie.
A bigger pie. What I eat is not as big as my goals. And I think it's true that you are what you eat.
We are both seeing that, I think.
Yes.
I love you too.